All right, so we're here at iSmart yet again. This is where I come for my gadgets. And today I am taking home this. It is a portable power station. Look how easy I lift this up. I have no information on this. I'm going to take this home and give it a test, run it down. So let's see how this goes. This is the Bluetti portable power station. This model is the AC70P. Thanks to the guys at iSmart for this one. My plan for this is basically, not to run through the specs because we don't really care about specs. We care about what it can do. So my plan for this after the unboxing is to see how long it would last after I plug in a bunch of stuff. Let's get into it. Let me see what I can observe on the box. It says keep dry. So it's basically not for, if you're in rainy weather, keep it dry. On the other side, this side, it says lithium ion batteries. We have 864 watt hours, 1,000 watts, and you have 5 years warranty. The weight is 23.6 pounds or 10.7 kilograms. So basically around 24 pounds, which, I could say that is decent to carry around because I have to lift it from iSmart, put it in the vehicle, and then I live a few flights up, and it wasn't a hassle to carry. It comes with a power station, obviously. You have an AC charging cable, that is to charge the power station. You have a solar charging cable. This one does not come with the solar panels, but you can get those separately. And car charging cable. So you could plug it in to the car and charge it. Now, this side gives you an idea of what it could charge and how many times. So a TV, a 60 watt TV, 8.8 hours, ice crusher, 2.5 hours, car fridge, 9 hours, space heater, 1.8 hours, laptop, about 8 times, fan, 6.3 hours, rice cooker, 3.1, and projector, I almost said that in Spanish, 5.8 hours. This becomes important. This becomes important because for us here in the Caribbean, we are faced with storms, hurricanes, and sometimes we lose power. We want to know if this could power us through those moments and how long would it last. That's what I'm going to be testing. I'm going to make sure it's charged to full, to the max, and then just plug in some stuff in it and see how long it lasts. Down here, it has applications, various applications, camping. I know a few people who are into camping now, and I myself, I love camping. I haven't been camping in, well, let's say forever, but I do want to get back into it. This is something you could walk with. As long as you don't have a super long hike, you could walk with this. Like I said, it's about 24 pounds. Emergency situations, barbecues, residential. You have outdoor streaming and RV TV. So if you're into RV, I know in the Caribbean, we're not really big on RVs, but if you're in the US or anywhere else, you could have this to power your devices. For me, whenever electricity goes out, the one thing I cannot do without is the fan, because I don't like to get hot, and of course the mosquitoes. So I'm gonna plug in some devices in this after I unbox it and I make sure it's charged to the max to see how long it lasts. I know it's not centered, but I'm moving it around. Let's open this. The first thing you see when you open the box, it says, please keep this box. Let me see if I can get this. Please keep this box. Your return will not be accepted without this box. It also says it in Spanish. All right. A very gentle unboxing. There is something on top. What is this? It doesn't have a label. Oh, these are the cables. So you have the charging cables. You have all of them in one. Car charger, AC, you name it. Everything is here. And then a plastic with, is it a screw? I don't know what this is. We will see. Okay. I'm assuming this is the manual. You get this. It just says Bluetti. Oh, this is the warranty policy. So you fill this out and send it in. the old school way. And of course, you have the user manual. You know, us guys, we don't like to read manuals. I see English, and I'm guessing this is Spanish and French. Yes, so you have the manual. Let's take this out. Nothing else in here. And here you have the power station. Let me get this out. And through Hollywood magic, here we have the portable power station. It is actually smaller than I thought it would be. It is actually, yes, it is smaller than I thought it would be. So this would be really nice for on the go. Power button is right here. Oh, nice. The display is very clear. I'm hearing a fan. That's why I paused. The fan stopped. So there is a fan inside, but the display is very clear. You won't have any issues seeing the display. There is a 15-watt wireless charger on top. Let's see if it charges my iPhone. I just put it there. It is not charging. I have to press the DC button to turn it on. It is on and my phone is charging, which is really good, really convenient. So if you're using this to charge your phone, you just rest it on the top and it works. This is the DC power. You switch this is the AC power. If you look at the labels, you see DC output, and this one is the AC output. The AC is at 120 volts, 1000 watt. And then you have various DC type outputs. USB-C 100 watt, you have USB-A at 12 watts, USB-A at 12 again, and USB-C at 100 watts. And then you have DC input. Just take this off. You have the DC input and the DC output. So that's it, really simple interface. What I'm going to do next is charge this to 100% and then plug in some devices to see how it works, how long it works. To give you an idea, if there is a blackout or anything like that, or if you're going camping for a few days, how would this work? Obviously, you could still charge it via the car. Let's see how it runs on its own. As I pay attention to the display, this, whenever the screen goes off, I press this, it comes back on. But it's telling me, it's giving me real-time information. Right now, I have my iPhone on top charging wirelessly. It is telling me it's at 9 watts. And at 9 watts, the power station is at 58% right now, and it's giving me 20 hours, 20 plus hours. That means when I plug in the devices to check them, we will see how many hours it will last. That's going to be the test. But let me charge it to 100% first and then get back to you with that. I mean, 20 plus hours of charging this phone is really good. If we're in a situation where we don't have electricity, then this could definitely charge my phone many times. So at least you don't have to worry about not having a phone. And we're back. I got the device charged up to 100%, and I have a few devices here. Now, what I'm trying to simulate is, okay, it's a hurricane situation, we're out of power, it's an emergency situation. These are, let's say, a bit excessive, but somewhat necessities. I have the MacBook Pro over here with the Mobile Pixels DuX Plus DS screen on it. I have my Ray-Ban Meta glasses, my Canon R8, the Nintendo Switch, and of course, a fan. In such a situation, I probably might not use the bigger fan. I do have a smaller battery-powered fan, and it's really good. But I decided to do a bit of an overkill. And I do have my other iPhone on top here for wireless charging. Let's see how much power all of this is going to take and how long the power station will last. I'm turning it on. It is at 100%. It's telling me right now 99.9 hours. It hasn't yet begun to charge the iPhone wirelessly because I have to turn that on. By doing that, I have to press DC and it will start to charge it. And I'm also going to use some AC ports. I'm plugging in the fan first because to me, in an emergency situation, the fan is the most important. I cannot get hot. I do not like to get hot, so I'm plugging in the fan first. Like I said, I wouldn't use this one, but let's do an overkill and turn it on. I'm gonna turn it on to medium settings. So with the iPhone wirelessly charging and the fan on, I am getting, it's telling me 8 hours, 8.8 hours, because the fan, the AC output, which the fan is on, is at 82 watts. And that's about medium speed. The next thing I want to plug in is the MacBook Pro, which is over here. But I'm going to plug it directly into the 100-watt USB-C port. Let's see what that does. I heard the beep. It's charging. It's still giving me 8.3 hours. It's giving me 9 hours with the MacBook Pro plugged in, the fan, and also, what else is plugged in? Oh, the iPhone is on top charging. 9 hours. This probably wouldn't take up much power, but I'm going to go with the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses and plug it directly in. Oh, this is another USB-C, but I wanted to save that for, okay, I know what I'll do. So we're plugging that into, and it's charging. See? Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses charging. The next thing that would take up the most power, before we go there, it's telling me 8.6 hours. The next thing that would take up the most power would be this to charge. So I'm going to plug this into, let's use this cable, use the MacBook charger, and plug in the Nintendo Switch. Oh, I'm running out of space, so let's turn it upside down. Nintendo Switch, plugged in. It is charging, and it's telling me 7.4 hours. Now, this is a bit of an overkill, because if you're in an emergency situation, you would kind of cut down on all of this. But that's what we have so far. And the next one would be the camera. You never know what you would have to capture in an emergency situation. It is telling me, the stats is telling me is we're basically at about 90, between 90 and 95 watts total for everything here, including the iPhone on top. So let's get the camera connected. The camera is taking more charge than 12 watts. These two are 12 watt outputs. So I just switched the Ray-Ban Meta to the one that was charging the Ray-Ban Meta to this one on the camera. And I'm going to take one of these other cables and plug it in to charge the Ray-Ban Meta. I just plugged in the Ray-Ban Meta, the camera, everything is plugged in, we're checking, and now we're checking to see how much power total it's taking. So we're looking at, it's about the same thing under all of these, including the fan in the back, is under 100 watts. And it's telling me I have about 7 hours with all of this plugged in. Now, this is an overkill if you're looking at emergency situations, but this is just an example of how much you could get from this small unit if you're going camping, or if you're in an emergency situation like in the Caribbean, we have hurricanes, as I've mentioned. You could plug in all of these things and have enough juice. Who do I recommend this for? If you want backup power, affordable backup power, something that is there, I definitely recommend this for you. You could charge it via your wall unit or in a car. So you always have a way to make sure you have power and just have it there. If you're into camping, as I've mentioned a million times, then you could take this with you as long as there isn't a long hike. Is it worth it? I would say so. As compared to a generator, which we used during previous hurricanes like Irma and Maria, this, you don't need to buy gas for it. You don't need to buy gas or diesel for it. You just make sure it's charged and it works. Now, in a situation like that, I was thinking about it, you would charge it via the car, most likely, and whenever you get power, if you could find a place to charge it. Speaking of which, this thing charges very quickly. It charges to 85% in 45 minutes. Last night, when I plugged it in to charge, I was very impressed with how quickly it charged. So even if you're in a situation and you need to borrow, you need to charge it, you need to go by somebody or a business to charge this, 45 minutes, you're out of there. You're out of there. And it was really quick. To me, that is one of the main features. It charges very quickly, and then you could use it to charge everything else. So if you're interested in this, this is the AC70P by Bluetti. at iSmart, they do have bigger versions. So if this one does not have enough juice for you, they do have bigger versions. This is just the one that I chose, but they have other versions. To me, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Let me know what you think of this one. If you have something like this, if you've been looking for something like this, if you have something better, I would love the recommendation. The guys at iSmart, they tell me, let us know what products you think we should carry. So if you have something that is better, or if you have something that you think could be a really good carry, just let me know and I'll pass on the message. Oh, and before I forget, I do have a story. There was a time we had a rehearsal for a big show, big production with Kamau Georges. He is one of our big musicians and producers here. And we went to the rehearsal, no electricity, none at all. And I'm talking like a big rehearsal. He pulled out a power bank. It wasn't this one, but iSmart does have that version. He pulled out a power bank and powered the entire rehearsal. I'm talking like big, like a whole bunch of vocalists. You have myself on keyboard, you had someone else on keyboard, you had bass, you had horn players, you had different effects, everything. And he pulled out a power bank and powered the entire rehearsal for maybe like an hour or so before the rehearsal came on. So you just never know when you're gonna need something like this, whether at home, work, or any situation.